Welcome to AI Chain Reaction, the podcast where we unpack the incredible world of artificial intelligence and automation. Each week, we're diving deep into the tech that's reshaping our lives, our businesses, and our future. From groundbreaking innovations and the latest industry news to practical strategies on how you can leverage AI automation for growth. We're covering it all. We'll be joined by leading experts, innovators, and thought leaders who are at the forefront of this digital revolution. Are you ready to explore how one small change can set off a massive chain reaction of progress? Then you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome back to AI Chain Reaction, where today we're going to explore how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the logistics and supply chain world. I'm your host, Devon, joined as always by Nick and Jordan. In this episode 5, today we're diving into a real-world use case around automating document processing, which everybody will love, getting rid of the documents if we can. So we'll be talking about how AI can tackle all that tedious paperwork in freight operations, bills of lading, invoices, purchase orders, custom forms, you name it. I know there's a ton more. Nick, what do you got for us?
Hey everyone, great to be here. I'm excited for this one because who doesn't love the idea of getting rid of boring data entry?
Absolutely. And, I think anyone in logistics knows the pain of paperwork, stacks of forms, hours typing information into systems. It's a perfect target for AI to set up and make life easier.
Definitely agreed. So let's set the stage on this one. In freight and logistics, documents are just everywhere. Every shipment, every order, every delivery has accompanying forms. Bill of ladings, BOLs they're called, invoices, custom declarations, insurance forms, gate forms, you name it. Traditionally, people have had to read those documents and manually input and key the data into the transportation management system, accounting software, spreadsheets, multiple systems. So it's slow, it's error prone, it's manual, and there's a lot of duplication of work.
Right. I've seen freight offices where a team of clerks spend their entire day just keying in data from these documents. In fact, many brokers effectively dedicate 40 plus hours a week of staff time purely to manual data entry. Basically, a full-time job copying info from PDFs into a system. It's, what is that, monotonous?
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 Monotonous means, kind of like it's just boring, never ending.
Tedious.
Tedious, yeah.
Okay. Let me restart that.
Yeah.
It's monotonous work, and frankly, it ties up people who could be doing more valuable tasks.
Right. And I think we should be honest. Humans make mistakes, especially when they're doing repetitive things, typing all day. Mistype a freight weight or an address, and you could have a big issue down the line, especially. Wrong. Okay. All right. Restart from here. Now, mistype a freight weight or an address, you can have big issues down the line. Wrong invoices, shipping delays, you name it.
Yeah, exactly. These are great points. So what's the solution? Automating the document processing with AI. Modern AI-based document processing systems combined with OCR, which is optical character recognition, to read the text scanned from an image or PDF, and NLP, natural language processing, to understand and extract the important fields from that text. Essentially, the AI can read the document like a human would and then pluck out, say, the shipper name, the consignee, address, invoice numbers, line item details, amounts, basically whatever you need, and then put that into structured data.
That's a game changer. Instead of a person poring over a bill of lading and highlighting the pickup address, the AI can do it in seconds. For example, an AI can look at a stack of freight documents, BOLs, invoices, customs forms, and automatically pull key information like container numbers, dates, locations, charges, product descriptions, and so on. Once it has those details, it can feed them directly into your system of record. No more mountains of paperwork. Everything becomes digital data almost instantly.
Right. That's all great. But how do we actually put this into practice? How does it work in practice? Let's say I run a small logistics brokerage. How would I implement an AI document processing pilot?
Good question. A simple pilot setup could be you have an AI tool monitoring a specific email inbox or a folder on your computer where incoming documents land. So imagine all the BOLs or invoices that carriers email you. You forward them to a particular email address or drop them into a network folder. The AI system is watching that location. As soon as a new document appears, boom, the AI grabs it. runs OCR to read the text, uses NLP models to parse out the fields you care about, and then outputs the data into a format you need. That could be a CSV or Excel spreadsheet, or even directly into your database or TMS via a little integration.
And the beauty is you can start without any heavy IT project. Many modern AI document processing services don't even require deep integration. For instance, some AI providers offer solutions that act like a virtual user. They can email out results or even input data through your system's regular interface, just like a person would. One case study noted 0 API integration needed. The AI agents operated through existing email software, just like a human, so the company didn't have to change their IT systems to get started. That means no major overhaul of your software. You simply provide some sample documents to train or configure the AI, and then you're off and running.
That's awesome, because one big barrier to new tech in logistics is often, will it play nice with our old systems? Here it sounds like you can sidestep that. Just have the AI read emails or watch folders and output data whenever. Even if it's just an Excel sheet that you later import, keep it light and simple.
Exactly. It's a low-risk pilot. You don't have to rip out or rewrite your existing system. You can literally run the AI in parallel with your current process. For example, you could have the AI process each incoming document at the same time your staff does it manually. Then compare the results. Double-checking the AI's output initially helps you verify it's working correctly. Once you're confident in the accuracy, you can start relying on the AI more and more, and your team can step back to just supervise.
And the immediate benefits of doing this are huge. First off, speed. The AI can process documents much faster than a human, often in seconds per document. It also can retake. It can also handle many documents in parallel, whereas a person has to do them one by one. And then accuracy. An AI, once properly trained, will extract that data every time, reducing those manual typos and overlooked fields. That means fewer errors and fewer downstream issues. One source pointed out that this cuts processing time down and reduces errors, freeing staff to handle only the tricky exceptions instead of every tedious form. And third, the workload relief. You're taking a boring, high volume task off of your employees' plates. They can now focus on more important work, maybe providing better service to customers or solving real problems rather than mind numbing data entry.
Right. And to put some numbers on it, I recall you mentioned at the top something about brokers spending 40 hours a week on this stuff. Imagine freeing up that entire chunk of time. That could save a full salary's worth of hours or allow an employee to do more useful work, like proactively managing shipments or negotiating better carrier rates.
And it's not just theory. We have real examples of the impact. For instance, there's a case study from a company called Ventus AI, working with a 3PL third-party logistics provider named Intech Logistics. They used an AI agent to automate their invoice processing workflow. The results were stunning: 150 freight invoices processed in under 3 minutes, a task that used to take a full day for their staff. Think about that, an entire day's worth of invoicing done in the time it takes to grab a coffee. That's about a 10+ hour workload compressed into just about 180 seconds.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah. I mean, just hard to even imagine. So not only were they faster, but they were accurate as well. The AI compiled each invoice packet with all the supporting documents completely flawlessly, sent them out without any errors. In Intech's case, their team went from spending a whole day on clerical work to essentially having done that automatically. This accelerated their billing cycle. Faster invoicing also means they get the invoices to the customer sooner, which in turn means faster payments and better cash flow as well for the business. Plus, this improves the accuracy, means fewer invoice disputes with customers later on, so the benefits cascade over time. More time savings, more cost savings, and even better revenue growth realized sooner.
Yeah, that's a great point. Cash flow is king. If you can build 24 hours earlier with fewer mistakes, that's money in the bank faster and less arguing over charges. And I bet the customers appreciated getting their invoices promptly and correctly too.
Alrighty, let's see here. 1 second. And let's not forget the employee morale angle. I mean, no one takes a logistics job because they dream of typing data from PDFs all day. That's tedious work. When you automate it, your team can do more meaningful things, like solving exceptions, talking to customers, or improving processes. In that Ventus case, they mentioned that let me start. In that Ventus case, they mentioned that staff could refocus on customer relationships and problem solving once the AI took over the grunt work. So you're not just saving money, you're also potentially improving job satisfaction. People get to do less drudgery and more thinking.
Now, as with any AI solution, you want to make sure it's set up correctly. Different companies' documents have different formats. A bill of lading from one carrier might look different from another's. Part of launching a pilot is gathering a representative sample of your documents, say a few dozen BOLs and invoices from various partners, and letting the AI model learn where to find the key info in each format. The good news is modern intelligent document processing tools are pretty adaptable. Some of the pre-trained models that recognize common logistics documents, and some allow a bit of training or tweaking without too much effort needed at all.
That's great. And let me ask you guys a question. If a document comes in that's totally unlike the samples, what happens there? Does the AI freak out or?
No, they probably set up a trigger to route it to a manager, supervisor, individual to validate it and retrain the model, re-educate the model. Yeah. You don't want it to hallucinate and do something crazy.
Usually the system will still try its best. Often they have a generic understanding of documents. It might extract what it can, but maybe with lower confidence on certain fields. Good systems will flag low confidence extractions or unknown formats so you can review those manually. And that's part of running the pilot. Monitoring the results in the early phase, you might still have a person quickly glance over the AI output, especially for critical fields like payment amounts, just to be safe. Over time, as the AI improves or as you fine tune it, you'll gain trust in it. And remember, if it ever outputs something weird, you still have the original document. You can catch it during that review.
Exactly. The idea is not to set it and restart. Exactly. The idea is not to set it and forget it. On day one, you treat it like you're training a new employee. Double check their work at first, give feedback and adjustments, and as soon as they're performing reliably on their own, and as we noted, the risk is low because you're not immediately going live without oversight. You can run this in parallel to existing processes until you're comfortable.
Yeah, and another aspect worth mentioning is scalability here. If your business grows and suddenly you have twice the number of documents to process, an AI solution can scale much more easily than hiring and training double the staff. You might just add more computing power or more licenses, and the AI will handle the volume. Retake. It doesn't just get tired or slower with more documents. It can actually do a lot in parallel. That Venice example of spinning up 150 parallel processes is a perfect illustration. Trying to do 150 things at once with a human team, not possible. With AI, totally possible.
And scalability goes both ways. If you have a slow week with fewer documents, the AI isn't sitting there idle on payroll. It's just processing what comes. You have flexibility. That can be cost efficient as well, especially if it's a pay per use model.
Excellent. So now we've talked about, restart. Okay. Now, what types of documents? We've mostly talked about invoices and BOLs. Could the same approach handle, say, purchase orders or custom forms?
Definitely. The technology is generally called Intelligent Document Processing, IDP, or sometimes Document Understanding AI. It can be applied to many semi-structured documents. For purchase orders, you'd extract things like PO number, item SKU, quantities, prices. For customs forms, maybe tariff codes, country of origin, values, etc. As long as you know what fields you need, the AI can be set up to find them. And as you get more advanced, you can even chain this with other logic. For example, after extracting data, automatically cross-verify an invoice against a purchase order or a BOL for discrepancies. But that could be a phase 2 after you prove out the basic extraction.
Yeah, and this reminds me of something I read. AI can actually help verify and audit documents too, not just read them, like matching a BOL to an invoice to flag if a charge is missing or if a load wasn't delivered but billed. So once you have the data digitized, you can do a lot of smart things with it.
Absolutely. It opens the door to all sorts of automation and analysis. But it all starts with getting that data out of the paper and into your system accurately and quickly. That's why we need to think about automating routine document processing, such as high impact pilot projects for logistics companies. It's going to be relatively easy to roll out. It doesn't require a huge total upfront investment, and the payoff is immediate. You'll see time saved and errors reduced right away.
And I want to stress how accessible this is nowadays. A few years back, OCR was around but pretty rigid. It often struggled if the document layout wasn't exactly what it expected, or if the scan quality was poor. Now with AI and especially with machine learning trained on tons of documents, the systems are far more forgiving and intelligent. They can handle variation in layouts, different languages to an extent, even slightly blurry scans. Plus, with cloud services, even smaller companies can use these tools without needing in-house AI developers. You can subscribe to a service or use an AI vendor who has this capability. As we cited, some vendors specialize in logistics document processing and can get you started just by sharing sample docs and setting up a small integration.
So it sounds like there's not too much excuse not to try this, especially if you're drowning in paperwork. For example, it sounds like a win-win, lower operational costs, faster cycles, happier employees and customers.
Indeed. All right, as we approach the end of this episode, let's wrap up with a few key takeaways from our discussion.
All right, takeaway number 1, automating routine freight documents is a quick win for AI. Tasks like reading BOLs, invoices, and customs forms can be done by AI much faster than by humans. This not only speeds up your operations, but also eliminates a lot of mind-numbing manual labor.
Takeaway 2, modern AI document processing uses OCR and NLP to extract key data from paperwork and make it immediately usable. That means instead of a paper or PDF file sitting at someone's desk, you get digital data in your system automatically. The tech has matured to handle real-world documents with high accuracy, reducing errors and typos. So you get fewer mistakes, fewer downstream disputes, and smoother process overall.
Excellent. That leads to takeaway 3. Let's get a pilot project going. So starting a pilot for a document automation project is low risk and high reward. You don't need to overhaul your IT systems. You can bolt on an AI solution onto your existing workflow with minimal integration. You can run it in parallel to double check that the AI's outputs are credible, and you're going to build trust in the results. Once it's up and running, you can immediately free up staff hours to improve processing times without needing to hire extra hands to burn out your team. In short, it's one of the best small steps to test AI in your organization and start seeing ROI quickly.
Well said. And I'll sneak in a final thought. Data is king. By digitizing all this info, you also set yourself up for better analytics. When all your BOL details or invoice line items are in a database, you can analyze trends, costs, errors, etc., which is hard to do when info is trapped in PDFs. So you're not just automating, you're also gathering valuable data for decision making.
Great point. This one pilot could be the cornerstone for a larger digital transformation down the road. It's like laying the foundation. Get the data digitized, then you can do so much more with AI on top of it.
Awesome discussion, guys. Listen, a little call to action for our listeners. If you're in the logistics or the freight business and you're still pushing paper, give this a try. Identify one type of document at least that eats up a lot of your time or your team's time and look into an AI solution to handle it. Start small, maybe a subset of documents or one customer's files. See the results for yourself. As always, thanks for tuning in to AI Chain Reaction. If you found this episode useful, please share it with your colleagues and subscribe so you won't miss our upcoming episodes. We'd love to hear your feedback or any success stories if you implement these ideas. Until next time, keep experimenting with AI and keep chain reaction and innovating going.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of AI Chain Reaction. Thank you so much for tuning in and exploring the incredible world of AI and automation with us. We hope today's discussion sparked some new ideas and gave you valuable insights into how these technologies are shaping our future. Don't let the conversation stop here. What was your biggest takeaway from this episode? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. For more resources and to learn how AI automation can transform your business, visit us at wintersAIsolutions.com. Thanks again for being part of our community. Until next time, keep innovating and stay curious.